Why did God kill all the firstborn of Egypt? What is their offense? Why not kill Pharaoh, who refused the Israelite to go? The questions the Exodus story doesn't fully answer. Let's dive in. One man stood before the most powerful ruler in the ancient world. His message was simple: let my people go. But Pharaoh refused, again and again. What followed were 10 devastating plagues, the death of Egypt's firstborn, and one of history's most famous escape stories. But behind this incredible narrative lies a series of difficult questions. Did Pharaoh truly have a choice? Why did God send 10 plagues instead of 1? Could innocent Egyptians have suffered because of their ruler's decisions? And did the Exodus happen exactly as the Bible describes? Today we're exploring one of the most influential stories ever written. Not to tell you what to believe, but to examine the questions that continue to challenge believers, skeptics, historians, and scholars alike. The story begins with the Israelites living in Egypt. Over time, they become a large population. A new Pharaoh fears they have become too powerful. The Israelites are forced into hard labor. According to Exodus, Pharaoh even orders the killing of Hebrew baby boys. Then comes another remarkable event. A baby named Moses is placed in a basket on the Nile River. He is discovered and adopted into Pharaoh's household. Why would the future leader of Israel grow up in the palace of the very king who oppressed his people? Was this coincidence, providence, or a literary way of showing that history can change in unexpected ways? Years later, Moses encounters a burning bush. The bush burns, but it is not consumed. God calls Moses to return to Egypt and demand the freedom of the Israelites. But another question appears. Why choose Moses? He says he is not a confident speaker. He doubts himself. He even asks God to send someone else. Why would God choose a reluctant leader instead of someone eager for the task? Throughout history, many have suggested that leadership is often given to those who never sought it. Others see Moses' hesitation as making him a more relatable human figure. Then Moses stands before Pharaoh. His message is clear: let my people go. Pharaoh refuses. The first plague begins, then another, and another. The Nile turns to blood. Frogs cover the land. Darkness falls over Egypt, until finally comes the death of the firstborn. But one question has troubled readers for centuries. If God is all-powerful, why send 10 plagues? Why not free the Israelites immediately? Some believe the plagues demonstrated God's power over Egypt's gods and challenged Pharaoh's authority. Others wonder whether there could have been another way. Perhaps the most debated question concerns Pharaoh himself. Several passages say Pharaoh hardened his own heart. Other passages say God hardened Pharaoh's heart. So who was responsible? Did Pharaoh freely choose to resist? Or did God influence his decisions? If God hardened Pharaoh's heart, can Pharaoh be held fully responsible? Religious thinkers have debated free will and divine sovereignty for thousands of years. There is no single interpretation accepted by everyone. Then comes the final plague, the death of Egypt's firstborn. The Israelites mark their doorposts with lamb's blood. The plague passes over their homes. This event becomes the foundation of the Jewish festival of Passover. Yet difficult questions remain. Why did ordinary Egyptian families suffer? Could they have been victims of their rulers' decisions? Or does the story reflect a broader message about justice, oppression, and liberation? Different readers answer differently. After Pharaoh finally agrees to release the Israelites, his decision changes. His army pursues them. The Israelites become trapped between the Egyptian army and the Red Sea. Then comes one of the Bible's most dramatic moments. The sea parts. The Israelites cross. The waters return. But historians and archaeologists continue to debate the historical details of the Exodus. Some see it as literal history. Others believe the story may preserve memories of real events expressed through theological storytelling. The discussion continues today. Whether you read Exodus as history, sacred scripture, symbolism, or a combination of these, one fact is undeniable. The story of Moses and Pharaoh has influenced religions, cultures, laws, literature, and freedom movements across the world for thousands of years. Perhaps its greatest power lies not only in the miracles it describes, but in the questions it continues to inspire. So let me ask you, did Pharaoh truly have a choice? Why do you think God allowed the conflict to continue through 10 plagues? And what lesson do you believe the Exodus story teaches humanity today? Share your perspective in the comments, and let's keep the discussion respectful.